So this is our project. We're focusing it on conflict in the workplace. I'm Caitlin.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Stephanie.
So our introduction to the conflict. So it's intended to help resolve conflict that occurs in a workplace setting. It facilitates communication between both parties to resolve problems. And it's a mediation that will bring awareness to workplace problems. So the roles we're going to have, as a manager, we're going to have Stephanie. The employee will have Alex. And as a mediator, we'll have me, Caitlin.
Preview to the conflict. The manager. The manager is not satisfied with the new employee's work ethic. The store is short-staffed and the new employee is not picking up shifts and is constantly calling in to have their shifts covered. The employee is constantly stirring up drama at the workplace but never addresses the problem head-on. The employee has been working for over 2 weeks and is still not completing tasks to the standards of the business. The management team is looking for new workers constantly to keep up with customer demand and the lack of employees willing to work.
The employee feels as though they are not getting properly trained by the manager. The hours they are receiving are not consistent. 1 week, they are getting 6 hours, the next 20. The employee also believes the management team is hiring too many employees when there is not enough hours given. The employee feels as the management is picking on them for doing bad work, but feels like they are hard workers. The employee is currently a student at CSUCI and gave the management their class schedule, but is constantly giving shifts during their classes.
So the mediator solution, the employee should communicate to the management team that he or she doesn't feel properly trained. The employee should also state that he or she is having irregular hours that conflicts with his or her school schedule. The manager should cut back down on hiring new people so that they can train employees that are already working for the establishment. Training employees will eliminate the need for new workers to be hired, and employees will have a better understanding of the set expectations the management team has for their businesses.
Workshop itinerary. Conflict rundown by manager and employee. Job duties and performance expectations. Time for questions from employees. How to handle conflict in the workplace. Role play of job duties and how to confront any future issues. And workshop with the survey on job satisfaction.
So we're now going to have the employee training workshop, which is addressing conflict. So what is the problem you are facing? I want to hear from both parties without any interruptions. I want to hear from the employee first.
I would like to start off with how unfairly I'm being treated. Since I started working for the company, I've received irregular work hours. These hours are conflicting with my school schedule. I feel like I am being blamed for not completing tasks properly, but I have not received proper training.
I have not been satisfied with the work ethic this employee has demonstrated. Managers are constantly having to reprimand this employee. This employee continuously calls to get their shifts covered, but then complains that they are not being scheduled with enough hours. The employee has become disrespectful with other managers and is causing other employees to act out.
So I'm going to direct this to the employee. What changes can be made on behalf of the manager to solve this conflict?
I would like the manager to pay close attention to my availability instead of scheduling me to work shifts that I cannot attend. I would appreciate if the management team was more understanding about making the mistakes on the job, since I am still fairly new. I would also appreciate if the management team would not disgrade employees for calling in and get their shifts covered.
So now to the manager. What changes can be made on behalf of the employee to solve this conflict?
I would appreciate if the employee would communicate openly and honestly. At times when we are short-staffed or overstaffed, the management team has to fluctuate with the hours. With an open line of communication, the management team would try their best to accommodate the employee to the best of their ability. As a management team, we are not purposely trying to degrade employees, but we have company expectations and standards that need to be met.
So after hearing both parties communicate their side of the conflict, I think it is best to hold a workshop that can address both sides of the problem and work at a possible resolution. The workshop should cover topics such as company expectation, address any questions new employees may have, and give both the employee and manager tips on how to manage a possible conflict.
Job duties and performance expectations. During this part of the workshop, the mediator wants the management team to give a presentation to the employees on the specific job duties and expectations they have. The employees want proper training, and this is the way it ensures they all receive it.
These are some ways how to handle conflict in the workplace. Talk with the other person. Make sure the conflict is known to both people. 2, focus on behavior and events, not on the personalities. 3, listen carefully to the other person. 4, identify points of argument, agreement, and disagreements. 5, develop a plan to work on the conflict. 6, follow through on your plan. And 7, build on your success.
So next, we're going to suggest a role play by the employees. After the employees learn all about how to do their job and how to handle future conflicts with the workshop, we will have them conducting role plays. These role plays will give them the opportunity to practice for the future and further their understanding. If there's any confusion, this is a good time for employees to find out and learn from it.
So at the end of the workshop, we would pass out a survey on job satisfaction. The survey is on a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being strongly agree and 1 strongly disagree. The first question would be, overall, were you satisfied with the company you're working for? Were you given good hours? My supervisor clearly communicates their expectations. I had the training necessary to be successful. What are some methods you would want to see implemented in the workplace?
So our hopes is that through this workshop, the employees and the manager will feel better, and it'll help them to handle any conflicts they may have in the future.